Welcome back, everybody, to Kat's Krypt here on Scrumptious Unscripted. This week it was Pappy's choice, and he joins me while we discuss When Animals Dream.
Pappy's choice. 100% easier to handle than Sophie's.
Oh, we're off to such a grand start here, children. So, this is a Turkish film about a girl who gets bullied and then doesn't.
Yes. It came to my attention as a preview to a horror movie that I can't even tell you anymore. But I'm like, oh, hey, look, this preview actually looks interesting, unlike the movie I ended up watching after the preview. And so it hit Netflix, and it kind of went on my list, and you're like, hey, you recommend a movie. Okay.
Yeah. Your turn.
So we're looking at a Dutch film. And I've come to believe that much like the Swedish Let the Right One In, the Scandinavian area is in no hurry.
Yeah.
I think Troll Hunter is the most fast-paced movie I've ever seen from that area of filmmaking. And even that one took a little while to set it up.
Yeah.
So what we have is a movie, you are very correct, that things happen to a girl, and then things happen within the girl, and then the girl makes things happen. And it's a horror movie.
That's the Vegas, and we're going to cut it there. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. No, as far, we'll hit the spoilers section of this, but in the non-spoilers section, yeah, that's a very vague description, but it's an accurate one, without giving too much away. You have, a girl who's treated very poorly by the people of this town. She has a sick and ailing mother, and you don't really know why everybody, is... And it's not even picking on her. It's straight up cruelty, beyond cruelty.
Because, there's actions in the movie where you're like, okay, maybe they're actually just unsure of her, because they do things in the film to make her feel welcome, even if it's pranky, like when she ends up in a vat of fish heads. But it was, oh, hey, that was your initiation. Welcome to the job. You're now one of us. But at the same time, great actress. I mean, she's got that look like, are they welcoming me, or was this an excuse?
Yeah.
You could actually see that in her eyes. Like, I'm not sure if this was what they wanted.
Motives. What does she have? Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, what it is, her mother is sick and pretty much is comatose in a wheelchair. This is her mother. Pretty much the whole movie. Good drugs. Whatever they're giving her. But that's it. And then Dad seems really nice, and he cares about his family, and then she kind of discovers what happened to her mom, and that it's genetic.
Da, da, da.
And now we will enter spoilers territory.
Yeah, but now we're going to get into spoilers. Yeah. But before we get there, if you're going to click off, I would definitely say if you liked Let the Right One In, whether it's the original or the remake, because they both had that slow burny feel. Yeah. This is for you.
I recommend it. It's definitely, you got to pay attention. You got to focus. Yeah. But it pays off pretty well. Yeah. Now that we've said thank you for watching, for those of you who want to go see the movie without having anything ruined, for those of you who are on the fence or just kind of want to know more about it, my best comparison was Ginger Snaps with all the comedy taken out.
Okay.
It's a coming of age kind of but not so much a direct reference to, menstruation like Ginger Snaps kind of was, but it was that something happens as you grow up and you go from taking everyone's shit to being able to handle it and then give it back in a much more monstrous way in the film, as opposed to what you should be doing in reality. I don't recommend taking actions that involve torn jugulars.
Yeah, she spit it back out.
Yeah, it's some kind of genetic defect that makes her angry, violent, crazy.
Animalistic.
Yeah. But I think they did such a great job of kind of building up to it. It wasn't just, oh, hey, I'm crazy now. It was the most effective part to me was the glass chewing scene. And I'm not going to go into any more detail than that, other than there's a glass chewing scene. But it was very effective at what it was demonstrating. I'm not going to put up with your shit. I'm not going to do everything you say, Dad.
You can't tell me what to do, Dad.
So I liked. Now, what about you? What did you think was the most effective or most the part of the movie that kind of sucked you in and you went, okay, now I'm definitely gonna watch this to the end.
Well, it was at the end, and it was just even with that unibrow and half a beard, she could still get a hot ass man. It gives me hope for the future.
Yeah, like just like Let the Right One In, there was that one person who kind of looked past the misunderstood portion.
Yeah.
So,
For me, I was pretty gripped. I figured out pretty early on, and again, this is just being into that kind of, canon and universe with horror films. It's like, oh, checking your fingernails, checking your gums, like asking if you have any weird hair. Like, this movie screamed werewolf pretty
yeah,
much from the word go.
yeah, and but I like how it just became like a genetic defect rather than she never got bit by anything. She never got
Yeah,
attacked.
no, it was definitely a passed down thing.
Yeah,
And then I was almost kind of waiting for like maybe the tangent. And with the length of the movie, there was no way it was ever going to get that far. But it was just one of those where it was when she's at the bar and she's like, I'm going to turn into something weird and I just want to get laid. And it's like, is that how you came to be, little one? Is that what your moms did? And then I'm just thinking, okay, but I mean, they did kind of correlate that a little bit because you do kind of get that impression that, like, her mom was kind of lusted after because she was the prettiest woman in town. It's a very small fishing community.
yeah, and that's the other thing I do like about the Scandinavian films is just that sense of vast openness, but at the same time, everybody knows everybody because you're in the middle of nowhere. Sure, it's gorgeous and there's so much space, but we just have this little town of like a couple hundred people.
Yeah,
And that's it,
it
because
is it.
nobody else wants to be here.
Which, to that point, why did all the hoodlums and pranksters insist on wearing ski masks? Like, bitch, everybody knows who you are.
Oh, yeah, voice vocally. Yeah, I don't even speak the language. I'm watching subtitle. I knew who the hell was behind that mask just from the voice. When you're the manliest man on the mountain, you can't disguise that shit.
When you have the biggest beard in town, everybody knows who you are.
Yeah, and I thought you were gonna say the moment you were gripped by the movie was when the men started walking around in fur coats with no shirts underneath. I
Well,
figured
that's just, I mean, that's a
that.
family reunion for me, I mean, that's nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah, When Animals Dream. It's on Netflix. I liked it, but it's more of a slow psychological horror. I mean, there are action elements in there. It doesn't just leave you to guess,
Yeah,
but
no.
don't expect a murder a minute kind of thing going on. It's
Yeah. It's not a slasher. It's a gradual build up with a payoff.
Yeah, it's even less action oriented than American Werewolf in London. It's just what the fuck is going? Oh, that's what's going on, and then the movie's over. But I
Yeah,
liked it, and it stayed
the
tight.
comeuppance happen. That's why I
Yeah,
say payoff. Like,
it definitely stayed tight though. At 90 minutes, it didn't go up its own ass at any point. There was
no,
no.
no, it kept moving. It didn't stall out. It kept moving, even when things were getting weird, like aforementioned glass chewing. Like, it kept
Yeah,
pushing forward.
yeah.
I give it, I don't know. I give it 3 Bic razors out of 5.
I give it one Gillette Hydro.
Ooh, giving it the fancy razor.
Definitely not a $1 shave club here. Definitely not.
No, no, no Dollar Shave Club. Definitely got to go with professional grade materials. So,
Yeah.
on that note, everybody, we finally watched a good movie. Ah. So yeah, you should check it out.
It only took 5 tries.
Yeah, well, for me,
Well, you
well
can't see
more
my
than
thumb.
5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let me show my thumb to the camera now. Hey, look at the
it took
five.
this many tries. Got it. Ah.
We
So,
did it.
on that note, folks, as always, the link for the movie on Netflix will be down in that description box below. Feel free to give us a like, a comment, or subscribe if you want to see more of this in the future. And next go round, I'm hoping we'll have something for you Amazon Prime subscribers. So stay tuned, and we'll see ya in 2 weeks.